Trackhouse reveals the first Project 91 driver, and it's none other than former F1 world champion and brief NASCAR star Kimi Räikkönen. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Short and sweet episode today. It's been a very, very busy news week, but this morning, Trackhouse confirmed the first driver of that all-new part-time number 91. Kimi Räikkönen, the 42-year-old from Finland, 2007 F1 world champion, 21-time winner in Formula One, will drive the 91 Chevrolet at Watkins Glen this August. Not only will this be the first race for Kimi Räikkönen in the NASCAR Cup Series, it will also be the first race for the 91, the third Trackhouse car, and it will also be the only race the 91 runs this year. Justin Marks and Trackhouse said that next year, 2023, the goal is to field this car a few more times. If you missed my video a couple days ago when Trackhouse first teased this announcement, they announced Project 91 as the NASCAR destination for the greatest drivers in the world. That was their tagline, at least. Their point of emphasis was on attracting international racing superstars. I should have considered Kimi Räikkönen off the bat. A few of y'all in the comments mentioned Kimi Räikkönen, and then yesterday on his Instagram story, he posted a very suspicious image. A lot of y'all were able to put two and two together. I did say that it was unlikely any active F1 drivers would race for Trackhouse, but Kimi Räikkönen retired from Formula One officially, I believe, last year. But he has always had some level of interest in NASCAR. I mentioned at the very beginning, kind of jokingly, that he's a former NASCAR star. Kimi Räikkönen has raced NASCAR before. More than a decade ago, 2011, he drove a truck race and an Xfinity race at Charlotte for Kyle Busch Motorsports. I was looking up where he finished in those races, and he actually finished a solid 15th in that truck race, but I noticed one of the drivers who beat him finishing 9th was his new boss, part-time boss, Justin Marks. Funny how life works. Things always seem to go in a big circle and then eventually meet in the middle sometime. This is cool news if we just take it at face value, but let's look at the bigger picture. First, let's talk about Kimi Räikkönen specifically. This is a race car driver who's a household name amongst race fans across the world. He has been at the very top of the motorsports world. He has won against some of the steepest competition the racing world has to offer. Sure, he's probably not in his prime anymore, but a driver like that coming to NASCAR gives stock car racing in America immense credibility. He'll be racing at a road course, Watkins Glen, a track that I think will be a little more in his wheelhouse than, the high bank Charlotte Oval was all those years ago. This new car, the next gen car, was built to handle better, to corner better at road courses. And Kimi Räikkönen coming over to race one of them, I think again, is an endorsement of the new car's, at the very least, the new car's road course abilities. And it got me thinking about a couple years ago when the 550 horsepower package was here, high downforce. There were some drivers and those in the industry who actively voiced concerns about whether or not that style of racing would drive away world-class race car drivers. Obviously, they were mainly talking about the big ovals then, and obviously now the 550 horsepower high downforce package doesn't exist. But it is great to see such a turnaround that we now have an international F1 star willing to race in the NASCAR Cup Series, come back to America and give stock car racing a second chance. I think that's an endorsement of the next gen, of how it handles at road courses, and it's a big, big deal, and a ringing endorsement of Trackhouse, of Justin Marks, Ty Norris, Pitbull, everyone over there. I know this is a part-time car and it's only gonna race once this year, but now, pretty much any fantasy that you and I have thought about could theoretically come to life. If you have a favorite driver that you've seen race Formula One, IndyCar, IMSA, dirt, sprint cars, super trucks, monster trucks, I don't know. Realistically, they have a competitive seat in the NASCAR Cup Series, assuming they bring in some sponsorship, because that is an open car, not getting a lot of purse money. I don't imagine Trackhouse wants to run that car at a total loss, but there is now a place for worldwide racing superstars to compete in the NASCAR Cup Series. Not just ride around, compete. I know NASCAR's its own beast, not every driver's gonna be great at every track their first time around, but this will give us some interesting stories to talk about whenever this car is in the field. It's great that Trackhouse is filling this gap because per NASCAR rules, Hendrick can't add a fifth car, not even on a part-time basis. Joe Gibbs can't either. Stewart Haas, no. Trackhouse is one of those teams in position to make this happen, and I'm glad that they are. It's one of those situations where I can't help but ask, how did nobody else think of this first? I know Marks has his connections, and I think the next gen car maybe is helping make this more possible. And I know we've seen big teams bring international drivers in the past, like back in the day, Jacques Villeneuve would race road courses for Penske in the Nationwide Series. Ron Fellows, obviously Juan Pablo Montoya came to the Cup Series and made a full-time gig out of it for 7 years. But we haven't seen this happen as much lately, it feels like. Some of that maybe is a testament to the American drivers. Many American drivers have improved their skills on road courses for one, and so now you bring in a ringer for a one-off NASCAR race where they're not super familiar with the cars, and they may get beat pretty bad. But another part of that, I think, has just been an unwillingness to try it. And Trackhouse is going out on a limb. They're making it happen. And I think the whole sport is better for it. I don't want to get off on the same tangent I was on yesterday, but some of these young guys that are in leadership roles now, I mentioned Hamlin yesterday, I mentioned Justin Marks. I think they have a lot of good ideas, and now we're starting to see them come to fruition. I don't know how Kimi Räikkönen will run at Watkins Glen. We haven't seen this car in race conditions at that track just yet. He could run top 10, he could run 30th. I really do not know. But I love that Trackhouse has made this opportunity possible. Again, any driver you've seen race in any country, in any discipline, could theoretically be a future candidate for that 91 car. Maybe just for one race, 2 races, but still. I think that's pretty cool. Like, how many times do we have conversations about how great it would be for this guy to make a start in NASCAR, or this guy? Many of those theories now are possible. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. I hope Trackhouse's Project91 proves to be successful. I hope Räikkönen does well at Watkins Glen. I think that's good for everybody, personally, except the people I guess he beats on the racetrack. But it's good for us fans. I know that much. Share your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's gonna do it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We talk NASCAR day in, day out. We're always reacting to news. We're always reacting to the latest races. As always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I truly appreciate your generous support every single month. I have another video coming out later today, and then tomorrow we've got some more to discuss. The Coke 600, the Indy 500, and since we talked a little F1 today, Monaco, all this Sunday, biggest day in racing every single year. Can't wait to not leave my couch for 12 hours. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you in the next video.